Number 1. Smoked sardines, the stinky fish that adds 5 years to your life. Harvard University followed 2,692 seniors for 16 years and discovered something that will blow your mind. The people with high omega 3 levels in their blood lived an average of 2.2 years longer than those with low levels. Your omega 3 levels are as strong a predictor of how long you will live as whether or not you smoke cigarettes. And the fastest way to get those life extending omega 3 levels? This smelly, oily fish that most people won't even touch. Sardines. I know what you're thinking. Sardines, really? Those tiny fish that smell like fish? Yes, exactly those. Because while you have been avoiding them your entire life, the Portuguese, Spanish, and Mediterranean populations have been quietly living longer than almost everyone else on the planet. And sardines are a huge part of their diet. A small request before we move on. If you care about living longer and feeling amazing, tap the like button and subscribe right now. That tiny click tells YouTube to share this life-saving message with more people, and it lets me keep bringing you science-backed tips every single week. Thank you, it really means a lot. Okay, back to sardines. Let me tell you just how powerful these little fish are. One 3.75 ounce can that's smaller than a can of Coke gives you 1463 milligrams of EPA and DHA omega 3s. That's more than most people get from fish oil supplements, and it's delivered in a form your body can actually use. But here is where it gets really interesting. Two separate studies found that people who ate sardines 2 to 5 times per week for just 6 to 12 months increased their protective omega 3 levels by 2.7%. That might not sound like much, but that single change moved them from the high mortality risk category to the low mortality risk category. Literally, eating sardines twice a week can shift you from likely to die early to likely to live longer. Now you might be wondering about mercury. After all, we are told to limit fish consumption because of heavy metal contamination. But here is the beautiful thing about sardines. They are at the bottom of the food chain. They eat plankton and small organisms, not other fish. So they have virtually zero mercury contamination. You get all the benefits of fish oil without any of the risks. Let's talk about what else is packed into these little nutrition bombs. 24 grams of complete protein, that's almost as much as chicken breast. 382 milligrams of calcium from their soft edible bones. That's more than a glass of milk. 35% of your daily vitamin D needs. More vitamin B12 than most supplements contain. And here is something that will surprise you. The Romans valued sardines so highly that they created something called garum, a fermented sardine sauce that sold for the same price as expensive perfumes. Medieval Islamic scholars documented sardine consumption worth 20,000 dinars daily in Cordoba. These weren't just poor people's food, they were luxury items because people understood their value. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, sardines can be challenging if you are not used to them. That fishy smell comes from compounds called trimethylamines, which get stronger as the fish ages. But here is the secret that Mediterranean cultures have known for centuries. Acid neutralizes those compounds. Squeeze lemon juice over your sardines, add them to tomato-based sauces, drizzle them with white vinegar and let them sit for 5 minutes before eating. If you're starting with canned sardines, you can even soak them in milk for 20 minutes. The milk proteins will bind to the odor compounds and make them much milder. Start small, add a few sardines to your pasta sauce, mash them up with avocado and lemon for a protein-packed spread. Put them on crackers with hot sauce. Your taste buds might resist at first, but remember, every bite is literally adding time to your life. Superfood number 2. Natto, the slimy Japanese secret to immortality. Now let's travel to Japan, where they have one of the longest life expectancies in the world, and discover the most disgusting looking food that might be their secret weapon. Picture this, it's 1051 AD and Samurai Minamoto no Yoshi's troops are in the middle of a battle. They are forced to hastily pack their boiled soybeans in rice straw bags and flee. Days later, when they finally have a chance to eat, they open those bags to find their soybeans have transformed into something that looks absolutely revolting. A sticky, stringy, slimy mess that smells like ammonia. Most people would have thrown it away, but the samurai were hungry and brave enough to test it. And with that test, they discovered what would become Japan's most powerful longevity food, natto. Now I need to prepare you for what natto looks like and smells like because it is genuinely challenging. It has a pungent odor that people compare to strong blue cheese or ammonia. It's covered in sticky slimy coating that the Japanese called neba neba. When you lift it with chopsticks, it forms long stringy threads that stretch and stretch. It has a strong, bitter, umami heavy flavor that hits you like a punch to the face. But here is the thing, natto contains compounds that exist nowhere else in the nature, literally nowhere else. First, let's talk about nattokinase. Natto is the only natural source of this powerful enzyme on the planet. Nattokinase dissolves blood clots, lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and may even protect against Alzheimer's disease by breaking down the protein plaques in your brain. Clinical trials show that nattokinase supplementation provides cardiovascular benefits equivalent to pharmaceutical interventions, but it's completely natural. Second, spermidine. Natto contains the highest concentration of spermidine of any food. Now, spermidine might have an unfortunate name, but it's one of the most powerful anti-aging compounds known to science. It stimulates something called autophagy, that's your body's cellular cleanup process where damaged parts of cells get broken down and recycled. Here is what's incredible about spermidine. It inhibits 9 of the 12 hallmarks of aging that scientists have identified. That means it's working against almost every major way your body ages. The research on autophagy was so groundbreaking that it won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. And spermidine was specifically highlighted as one of the key compounds that triggers this life-extending process. But wait, there is more. Natto provides the most bioavailable form of vitamin K2 found in nature, specifically something called minaquinone 7. This is crucial for preventing bone loss and osteoporosis as you age. It reduces arterial calcification, which means less heart disease. It helps your body properly use calcium, directing it to your bones instead of your arteries. Studies show that eating natto regularly for just 14 days significantly increases your circulating vitamin K2 levels and improves your bone metabolism markers. Just 14 days. Now here is what's fascinating about Japanese cultures and natto. There is actually a tradition that you must stir natto at least 300 times before eating it. The more you stir it, the stickier and slimier it becomes, and the more beneficial compounds it releases. So the more disgusting it looks, the better it is for you. The Japanese typically eat it mixed with soy sauce and spicy mustard called karashi, served over rice, sometimes with a raw egg on top. They might add chopped scallions or mix it with kimchi. For beginners, I recommend starting with very small amounts mixed into stronger flavored dishes where other flavors can mask its intensity. You can find natto in the frozen section of most Asian grocery stores and increasingly in health food stores. Start with maybe a teaspoon mixed into something you already like. Your gut bacteria will actually adapt to it over time, and many people find that they not only tolerate it but actually start craving it. Remember, this is the food that helped give the Japanese population their extraordinary lifespans. High natto intake has been directly linked to significantly reduced cardiovascular disease mortality and longer life. Sometimes the most powerful medicine comes in the most challenging packages. Food number 3. Purslane, the weed that Harvard says reverses aging. For our final superfood, I want you to go look in your garden or even in the cracks of your sidewalk. See those thick succulent looking weeds with small yellow flowers that you have probably been trying to kill with herbicide? You have been destroying one of the most powerful anti-aging foods on the planet. It's called Purslane, and here is something that will absolutely blow your mind. This humble plant that most Americans consider a pest contains compounds that can literally reverse aging at the cellular level. Harvard researchers have identified an enzyme called telomerase that creates protective caps on your chromosomes called telomeres. As these telomeres get shorter, you age. When they get too short, you die. Telomerase can actually rebuild these protective caps, essentially reversing cellular aging, and purslane is one of the few foods that naturally activates telomerase. But here is what's even more shocking. 1 cup of Purslane provides more omega-3 fatty acids than most people consume in an entire week from other plant sources. We are talking about 300 to 400 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid per 100 grams. That's 5 times more omega-3s than spinach, making it the richest vegetable source of these essential fatty acids. This wheat that you have been killing is actually more nutritious than the expensive organic vegetables you have been buying at the farmer's market. Despite being 93% water, Purslane delivers 44% of your daily vitamin A needs in one serving, 35% of your daily vitamin C, 7 times more vitamin E than spinach, and more beta-carotene than carrots. Now let's talk about why you have probably never heard of this. 2000 years ago, Pliny the Elder was praising Purslane in ancient Rome. Traditional Chinese medicine has called it the global panacea, a plant capable of bestowing longevity. A systematic review published in 2023 found that Purslane consumption significantly reduced markers of aging, including blood sugar, body weight, and oxidative stress. So why isn't everyone eating this miracle plant? Because, let's be honest, it's kind of gross. Raw purslane has a sour, salty taste similar to watercress, with a crunchy, succulent texture that many people find off-putting. When you cook it, it becomes mucilaginous and slimy, acting as a natural thickener like okra. It's not exactly Instagram-worthy. But while Americans are spraying it with poison, Mediterranean cultures have treasured purslane for millennia. In Mexico, they call it verdolagas and it forms the base of traditional stews. French cuisine incorporates it as pourpire in classic dishes. Middle Eastern cultures blend it with yogurt for cooling sauces. The anti-aging mechanisms in purslane work through multiple pathways. Its antioxidants prevent oxidative stress, that's the cellular damage that accumulates as you age. Its omega-3s reduce inflammation throughout your body. It contains glutathione, which protects against cellular damage while promoting skin repair and regeneration. Here is how you can start incorporating this free, literally growing in your yard superfood into your diet. If you are harvesting it yourself, make sure you are getting it from areas that haven't been treated with chemicals. Look for the thick, paddle-shaped leaves and reddish stems. You can also buy it at many farmers markets or Middle Eastern grocery stores. Start with small amounts in salads. The lemony, peppery flavor becomes addictive once you acquire the taste. You can sauce it like spinach with garlic and olive oil. Add it to soups and stews where it acts as a natural thickener. Blend it into smoothies where other flavors can mask its unique taste while you get used to it. The irony here is incredible. People spend hundreds of dollars on anti-aging supplements and skincare products, while literally killing one of the nature's most powerful age-reversing foods in their own backyards. So here's your challenge. These 3 foods: smelly sardines that can add years to your life, slimy natto that contains compounds found nowhere else in the nature, and purslane, the weed that reverses aging at the cellular level, represent a fundamental truth about longevity. The most powerful anti-aging compounds often hide behind challenging appearances, textures, and flavors. While Instagram-worthy superfood smoothies get all the attention, real longevity foods demand acquired tastes and cultural courage. The research is overwhelmingly clear. The question isn't whether you can afford to eat these foods, it's whether you can afford not to. Start small, start smart. Use traditional preparation methods to improve palatability, and remember that acquiring these tastes could literally add years to your life. Sometimes the most powerful medicine comes in the most unexpected and yes, disgusting packages. But for those brave enough to expand their culinary boundaries, these 3 foods offer a scientifically backed path to extended health span and longevity. If you learned something new, remember to like this video. Each click helps someone else discover these life-extending bites. And subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss weekly episodes of evidence-based wellness hacks. Thanks for spending this time with me. I genuinely care about your health, your joy, and your long, adventurous life. Now go take that first brave bite. Your future self will thank you. I will see you in the next one.